Hi, I'm Mama B, and this is my second video for House Flipper. So we're just continuing on for the last video. I'm just showing you at the moment the DLCs that I own, and they're the other ones that I don't own. They do tend to go on offer quite a bit if you play on computer, so it's good to kind of keep an eye on it, and sometimes you can get yourself a good bargain. I think maybe the Apocalypse one might be free, but I would do that. So I've just started up. I've just loaded in. I'm just cleaning my office because I haven't actually gave it a clean yet, and I'm also going to empty it. I tend to do this because I will actually decorate it at some point in a future video where I will show you kind of what I will do to it to change it into a little. I tend to make it into like a living area with an office, and then once I get to a certain stage, I will sell the office and buy a house and change that house into my office instead. So now I'm just choosing my jobs. Let's see where I go. Right, so this job is now a demolition job. We've not done this yet, so it's using the hammer. I've sped my videos up a little bit today. Yeah, you need to get rid of your doors, and I also move my light switches out of the way because they will get destroyed with the wall. And they kind of just need to be left up because you can't sell them. I have sped up some of my gameplay just to make the video less time. And also, obviously, you don't want to watch every single whack that I do when I demolition, as it does take a little while until you've updated your hammer. So you just literally do this and destroy the wall. Choose your upgrade. So I'm just choosing a couple now. You can choose whichever ones you want. It doesn't matter which ones you choose. I've chose them ones just to help out. As you can see, I've sped it up a little bit. I am hammering like a mad woman. But yeah, you only have to do the red parts. If you do hammer out another part of a wall, you do have to destroy the whole wall and build it again. But it doesn't take anything away from your points at this point, at all. It doesn't take away any of your money. It just means that obviously it costs you a little bit to take away the wall and build it again. I'm just whacking away the wall. There you go. All done. So I moved the kitchen counter back, and there you go. Right. So now I need to paint. I have also put this painting on fast forward too, just a boring job. I'm slowly getting there, upgrading everything. So now I've just done more wastage, and we'll get this room painted. I do sometimes accidentally put my flashlight on. If you're on computer, flashlight is F. You will see it come on in randomly in the videos because I do, for some reason, I do catch it because I miss the D and then click. But that's very handy if you're in a quite dark area and you've not put your lights up yet and it's night time. You can actually change on the settings so that it never goes to night time if you just kind of want to play in the day and it not goes to night. It is game time and it goes from day to night, but I'm not really bothered. You play it. Sometimes it is handy if you're in the garden to make it daytime. If you've got the garden DLC to do up the garden. Right, so I'm coming to the end of this job and I've just sold my paint and here you go. It's just showing what I've done. And that's the next, well, that's that job done. So I'll go to the next job in a moment. Right, so this job's another, well, it's a repair job of the electric sockets. So here you can see what you have to do. It just replaces the old broken one with a new one. And then once you've done that, you just cover it back over. Really easy, and just do that. The only thing about this one is that will cabinet will not go back in properly unless you move everything out of the way, which I could not be bothered to do right here. So I've left it like that. So now it's a paint job. It's pink and grey. Not really my favourite colours, but you know what? I'll leave them to it. They can have whatever colours they like. I think I have a feeling I only do one pink wall here, and then the rest is grey. Yeah, you can buy it. That's why I bought one small pink one because I knew I weren't going to do loads of pink, and the rest in grey. I have to sped this up quite a bit just because it does take a little while to do a bigger room, and obviously it just makes the video even longer. So now I finish that, I sell it, and then on to the next room. So this is bedroom. I think there's just the socket to do, and that's it. So it's just another repair job. Nice and easy, very quick. Sometimes you get screws two at a time that you can do. And there you go. That's that one completed. Oh, I've done all of the jobs. There you go, nice and easy. So for the start of them, they are sometimes very quick to start, and it only takes. I would probably say that. Actually, I didn't read how long that took me to do, but I do tend to stop and start videos at times as well. Most of the jobs will take like under half hour to do. This job is a change around of rooms, so you're modifying the room layout. You're taking this wall out, which again I have forwarded a little bit at some points because it just helps show you what to do, and also it's not exactly the most enticing thing to watch, is it? So then after this, you have to sell the cot and you have to put a wall on where it's showing them white bits at the back. So they want you to put the wall there. So I do that, and then you'll build your wall. For some reason, with my mouse can stick at times, so I do have to change directions where I go while I'm inserting the wall. Because sometimes it just won't read it and it'll just keep flashing red. So I've just found I will move around a bit, but it probably work better on your computer or whatever you play on. So right, that's my wall built. Now I'm just going to move the room around a bit because in a second we need to put in, it says buy object, we've got to buy a bed. So I'm just going to move a few of the bits around and do that and put the bed on that wall. You don't have to, you can try and probably fit it in some other way, but I just find this easiest. So this is the bed options. I'm just going for a nice blue bed and shove it in. So now I've still got one thing to do. I can see a little red bit on the mini map, if you can see that. I'm just trying to find which corner that's in. It's behind the wardrobe, so I have to move the wardrobe out of the way and fix it again. Again, nice and simple. It's just the little jobs sometimes, and they're the ones that sometimes you miss off because you don't realise that they're there. And put wardrobe back, and I think there's one more in the kitchen to be done. Yeah, as you see the red on the mini map. Came up and tried to find it. There you go. So nice and quick this job is, and we're slowly building up our pot so that we can buy a house soon. Yep, there you go. So all done. So my video does show what it looks like as the add-on, and that's that. Right, on to the next job. So the next job is a bath and home workshop. So we've got to clear out an area of all their kitchen bits and bobs downstairs, split the room up, and then make one bit into homeware and one bit into a bathroom. Luckily, on this job, they've put all of where they want the bits and pieces in. If you try and delete something that isn't meant to be deleted, it does actually come up with a little warning for you and just says it's immoral, or along them lines. So you will see that. Yeah, I'm just building the wall. At one point, or might be here actually, it I have chose the option now for it already to be painted. It just paints in, I think, a neutral white. That's very handy for from now on, basically, because sometimes it's just it's a pain in the bottom when it's just a brick wall, like how you can see now how my wall is that way. I'm not going to paint it because it's not part of the job. Yeah, it's better when it looks painted because it just looks, you don't have to think to actually do something then. You can just leave it neutral. So now I'm taking all the caps off the showers, sink. I think there's a bath, there's a washer, there's loads of everything. Just looking through the sinks now. I'm going to choose one, go for a nice brown, go with the room. So yeah, we're just fitting. I've just accidentally turned the water on, which again you will do by accident constantly, or I do anyway, because I think I'm just in a bit of a rush and that's my natural thing to do. So here we're adding the washer. So you have to unscrew all of them, put the lid back on, unscrew it again, and place it like that. So every time you have a washer, you have to do that. It feels a bit of a chore sometimes, but obviously if you put easy on, it would take probably less time to do. This is another one of the baths that you can get. It's very easy to fit. There you go. I'm done already. Here I choose one of the mountable showers. Again, very easy to put in, very quick. You just whack it into the spot as much into the corner as you can. Follow the steps. There you go, already inserted. The only thing I wish that I did here was I do not put the toilet, or like I wish I put it just slightly further from the shower, only because I struggle to put the loo roll holder on in a minute, which I forget that on. So obviously it's a bit too close. So I'm like 83% of the job. I've still got them to insert, so I put that on there. Just wish slightly more space and then a rug, and the job is done. So we've just added 6k to the jobs, to our total, just by doing this job. Let's see how much we've got in the kitchen. So we've got 42k, so we have got enough soon to buy one. But this is just me again going to the next job, as I just want to get going with everything. So, right, I'm having to modify the room layout. So delete your doors, because you don't need them. And then delete your walls as needed. This job is, I think, a little bit of a bigger job. I think it's got a few paint jobs as well as destroying them walls. It just takes your time. Sometimes the demolition side does feel more fun to do than the paint side. Sometimes the paint side can feel a bit boring to do. I have sped this up a little bit again to do. Sometimes you have to move the paint pot out of the way because it does block you from being able to move. If you just move it out of the way, or sometimes I just put on the last one, I put it on the bed, make it a lot easier to move around, as you really can get trapped at times. Right, I'm just doing around the windows, as I've got plenty of paint to do that, and that's what I normally do. And then I'll sell my paint. There you go. Right, so my next thing is to see where I need to go. So in here, I just need to paint it again. So I'll come back once I've painted this. So now I'm finished. I've sold my paint. I have sped this up a little bit again. I'm in the now what they want as bathroom. So I'm laying the floor. And then now we are going tile. So you have to choose the tiling and paneling section. This is where holding six at a time really helps. If you only have one at a time, it takes you forever. At one point, you can hold 15 at a time, but you can only actually tile, I think, six anyway, or five, I think it is. I'm not too sure. But on your mouse, you can change how many you have, so you can hold one. So that, like there, it shows two. You can change it to show to just do one because you can tile through to another room, unfortunately. So you just have to remember sometimes to change it. Like just there, it showed it was going through two walls. It would have gone into the other room. So here I am just sorting out the windows. You don't have to do it around the windows. I've just got leftover tiles. So I thought I might as well do it just to use them up and then I can sell them afterwards. I'm just doing one wall of these tiles because I don't particularly love this tile. It's a bit bland and boring, but it does the job. Right, so next is the shower. So I'm doing the cyber shower. I just like the look of this shower. I think it just looks nice. Really easy to assemble. It's just a few clicks, as you can see. Just literally click it in place. There you go. It's done. Right, what am I doing next? I think I'm going to do the toilet next. Yeah, so I go for a grey toilet or grey lidded toilet and just shove that in. There are so many toilets to choose from. If you have the DLC, there's a suspended toilet as well, which is pretty cool and very handy for safe, like for space saving. Some of the toilets you can actually have shelves and use the top of them for storage, so they're quite handy if you've got quite a small bathroom that you might not be able to get storage on, because you can put stuff on top of them to make the bathroom look nicer. Right, so now I'm in a bedroom. I've got to paint this bedroom some pinky purpley colours. Lavender would have been what I would have had as a kid in the 90s. Very pretty. So I'm just going to paint this and then I'll be back. So now I'm finished. I have left something, so I'm just trying to find it here. I do tend to go through the brooms pretty quick, and I actually do realise it's in the bathroom when I actually go back again and realise that I'd missed it saying that I'd missed something off there. So here's me like, what have I done? What haven't I done? No, I've gone through there, and I've realised I've forgot a mirror. So that's just me being silly and not looking at my checklist on the side and checking that it said that it was complete. So this is my little clips to show what has been done, and then it's back to the office. And that's the video done for today. Bye.